All right, so we've talked about first, second, and third degree price discrimination. What I want to do now is to talk about two other types of pricing strategies that firms can use if they have some market power. The first is called block pricing. And switch cameras here. All right. So block pricing requires that firms have market power and that we have a product for which no resales are possible. Okay. And the idea is this. Okay. Better put dollars up there instead of quantity. All right. So suppose this is demand for the product. If this is a standard monopoly pricing model, then we would expect the firm to sell this quantity at this price. So suppose what they do is they say, you can buy at this price. And after you've purchased that amount, if you'd like to buy a little bit more, say all the way out to Q1, we'll offer it to you at a lower price. Why does the firm do this? Well, when they sell QM, total consumer surplus is this area, right? And the producer surplus is this area. By offering to sell an additional quantity at a lower price, the firm can attract consumers by increasing consumer surplus for any of the consumers who are willing to pay a price in this range, and they add producer surplus here, so that benefits the firm. Okay, and so they say, the first 5 units that you buy are at the standard price, and if you're willing to buy more than that, the next 5 units will come at a lower price. And maybe we can even extend that further, because the firm clearly has an incentive to do this. Say, if you buy additional units, we'll offer them to you at an even lower price. The consumers in this part of the demand curve find that attractive. And of course, it's attractive to the firm because it increases producer surplus. Okay. And so block pricing means that we offer blocks of the product at lower and lower prices. And what we would expect is that the firm will continue to do this, or the firm at least has an incentive to continue to do this. It obviously becomes a complicated pricing mechanism if you have too many blocks, but they can always attract additional consumers, the ones who have the lower demand, and the firm continues to benefit from doing this. Okay, and so this is a way for the firm to increase its producer surplus and profitability, while at the same time attracting consumers in by offering added consumer surplus. Okay, that's block pricing. All right. The last one we'll talk about is what's called a two-part tariff. And a two-part tariff is actually a fairly common pricing scheme. And the two-part tariff doesn't require much other than that the firm have some market power and be able to prevent resale. So again, we'll start with a firm that has demand, and if this firm uses standard monopoly pricing, what it will do is to sell this quantity at this price. Okay. Now, if you happen to be the seller, you look at this situation and you say to yourself, well, I'm a monopoly. Excuse me, I'm a monopoly and I'm fairly profitable. But what really annoys me is this area up here, because I'm being profitable, but I'm leaving all this consumer surplus in the hands of my customers. And I sure wish there was a way I could turn that consumer surplus into revenue. And so what we come up with is a two-part tariff. Part one is we charge an entry fee. That is, charge a fee for the right to consume the good at all. And two, charge a per unit price. Okay, and so who does this? Sam's Club does this. They charge you a membership fee up front, and then you pay for whatever you buy. Bars will do this. They charge a fee at the door, a cover charge, and then you pay for whatever you buy inside. So this is a fairly common way of pricing. How does it work? Well, suppose there are N consumers in the market. Okay. What we're going to do is to take this entire area, and this is the consumer surplus, and we're going to charge each consumer a fraction of that. And so the entry fee is total consumer surplus divided by N. So if the total consumer surplus is $1,000 and we have 100 customers, then everybody pays $10 for the right to purchase a good. And then every unit is sold at price equal to PM. Okay. And what that means is that this entire area then becomes revenue, and this is no longer consumer surplus. Under the two-part tariff, it becomes producer surplus. Okay. And so again, this is a way for firms to increase their revenue if they can prevent resales. Okay. And this will make them more profitable. And that's the two-part tariff. And I will stop there.